What's going on again? It's Joel. Hey, what's up, guys? Real quick, I wanted to show you guys something that I thought was really important, because one of the things that I was experiencing when I was first being introduced to home businesses and how to make money online and all that stuff, I get really pumped up and happy and ready to go, and then like a few days later, all of a sudden I'm like, my countenance would fall, and I'm like, this ain't gonna work, this ain't for me, I don't have what it takes. And what I did was I started reading about, okay, what is it that's going on with me why do I feel always like pumped up, and then I just all of a sudden I just feel down. Well, I found out several years ago that what's happening is that here's what's going on. You go to a seminar, right? And they're feeding your thinking mind, right? So the speaker is telling you really cool stories, and you get engaged, and you put yourself in the position of the what do you call it? You put yourself in the position of the character, so you start to play out in your mind the position of the character, or maybe you just visualize everything going on, and you're all of a sudden you put yourself in that position, and then they tell you, well, how would you feel if you were in that position? Because you can too, and you have all the power you need, and they get you all revved up, they get your motivation all revved up, and all of a sudden you're pounding down the doors, you're like, I'm gonna do this, I want to do this, and then you're like, one day later or 2 days later, like, I thought I could do it. What happened? It's not for me. I can't do it. It's just for them. This is like for the people up there. They're the higher ups. Okay, here's what I'm going to show you. What happens here that takes your mind from this really high positive state where you're just feeling like you're gung-ho and ready to go, to bam, down to like just the pits, man. Okay, so what's going on is they're putting images here. They're putting images of things to come, things in the future. We are motivated by things of the future, of bigger and better things. We are not motivated by worse and just bad stuff, right? And when we're motivated by these really awesome images that really they just appeal to us, what's happening is we're getting all those things, and at that very moment, for the next few hours or days, all you can think about is that stuff, what just happened to you. You're on this high, on an emotional high, and that's what motivation is. Motivation is about the things to come, the positive things, the good things, everything good. That's what motivation is. It's about the future. It's appealing to our natural desire to succeed. It's like the innate ambition. That's what motivation is. It's appealing to that part of us. So what's going on? Why do you feel like crap after a few hours or a few days or whatever? And if you're that type where you just don't get motivated because of whatever happened to you, you just don't believe any of it, you know what? I'm going to show you how to break out of that, because even that is something anybody can break out of. So let's continue here. So what's going on here is they're putting all these really awesome images, and after a while, your self-image begins to take over, because your self-image is telling this right here. Wait, hold on a second. Are you telling us that we don't have to drive a beat-up car anymore? The self-image says that, right? Are you telling us that we don't have to live in a 900 square foot apartment anymore? Are you telling us that we don't have to settle for nothing anymore? But see, here's the problem. This part right here, it takes time to undo and redo. It takes time to get rid of all the garbage that's right here. This right here is who we are, not this right here. And this is our results. This is right here is our reality. This is where we experience through our senses. This right here is the gate between this and this. So, knowing this, here's how anybody can stay motivated all the time. That was the whole point of this video, because I want to show you how you can continually stay motivated all the time. And it does involve your willpower, but not in the way that you think. So, but I'm going to explain. So, willpower means this, is that you're going to actively make yourself think good thoughts. Keep the focus on the good. It is a habit. It's not going to be easy right away. But the cool thing is, it has nothing to do with the physical realm. It has everything to do with your thought life. If you control your thought life, you control this right here. Because what's going to happen, as long as you're continually, by willpower, continually meditating on those things in the future, what's going to happen, you're going to get this the self-image to start taking in all those new images of a new reality. So because the imagination, because the mind has an imagination, and because the self-image, the imprinting of images in the self-image is caused by what comes through the thinking mind, the conscience, the conscious mind, right? Okay, conscious mind. So, because you have power over this right here, you can actually you can control what this says by you controlling what goes in through here. I've taught this before. It's about how, the power of visualization. And because visualization is responsible for the image that you have of yourself here, you can control what image eventually you can have by design. Literally by design. You can totally redesign how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself, how you talk about yourself, everything from money, from people, it doesn't matter. Anything. I mean, you name it, anything. You really can change everything about your life knowing just this right here. Guys, I'm like freaking passionate about this stuff, because when I found this stuff out, it was like, whoa, it's Aladdin's lamp. And like I've mentioned before, Aladdin's lamp, man, seriously. But here's the thing. Like any new concept, it's going to take time to get used to it. First is accepting the possibility that it's even true. Once you break through that, okay, yeah, you know what? It sounds like it's true. Then your mind starts to think, okay, there's a very good probability, because there are people already succeeding, and people are no different than I am. They all put on their, as some people say, I don't say it, but everybody puts on their underwear the same way. Everybody puts on their pants the same way. Everybody's born the same way, and everybody dies the same way. The only difference is right here, what's being fed in here. And you have control over what is being fed in here. Now, let me share with you a really quick story. It's about a blind man, and I got this from the Bible. And his name was Bartimaeus. He was actually the son of what was his name? Timaeus or Bartimaeus, something like that. I don't know the whole specific. But what I do know is this: is that blind Bartimaeus was destitute. He was broke. He didn't have nothing. He lived on the streets. He was I mean, he was as mediocre as they come. And to finish it off, the dude was blind. And he wore like rags for to cover his body. And so you can imagine the perspective of this individual. He's didn't have a really good self-image. And so one day he heard through somebody else that, hey, you know what? Jesus is coming to town. And he's like, well, who's Jesus? Oh, well, Jesus, he actually, healed the blind, and he made the lame walk, and then he cured this, and he made this happen, and he fed the thousands, and he another blind man, he spit on the dirt, he said, rub it in your eyes, and the guy, he got his vision. So all of a sudden, blind Bartimaeus, his motivation started revving up. So he started getting excited. He's like, oh my gosh, you mean I'm going to be able to see? And all I have to do is get to this guy? And he's like, and the other guy's like, yeah. Okay, so he's like super motivated because all of a sudden he got locked into a vision, and nothing deterred him. So as Jesus was coming to town, the crowd started gathering up, and there's a mass of people, and this is actually in Jericho. So there's like a bunch of people, right? And they had this huge celebration because Jesus was coming to town. So as everybody is causing all this commotion, and everybody's like hip hip hurrahing and everything, and then but blind Bartimaeus, he's trying to find his way to Jesus, and he's fighting his way through the crowd, and as he's fighting his way through the crowd, people are like telling him, sit down, shut up, be quiet. No, they're trying to push him down and push him down and push him down. But see, here's the thing. He locked on to his vision. Right here, brother, sisters, my friends. He locked on with this thinking mind. He locked on with this vision. He locked on to that. And when he finally got to Jesus, when he finally got there, all Jesus could do was say, what would you like for me to do for you? And he said, all I want is my vision. And he said, your faith has made you well. And he saw. His vision was, he got his vision. So, here are the key things that I wanted to share with you. Jesus said, your faith has made you well. Now, what is faith? Faith is belief. That's what faith is. It's belief. It's this part right here in working together with this. This right here, one of the other things that that is really related to faith is actually confidence. Con actually means with. This means faith. With faith. When you have confidence, you are actually in harmony with faith. That's what confidence means. So when you have confidence about something you're doing, it means that you and faith are in one accord. So if you have insecurity in anything you're doing, what's happening is you're actually acting in fear. Fear is starting to creep in because why? Because negative images are starting to creep in there. So when you start to allow even just a tiny hint of a negative image, it's like a bad apple. One bad apple will rotten the whole bunch. You ever had like a bowl of apples, right? And there's one apple is just freaking nasty, green and moldy, and you ignore it, or you didn't realize you had it there or whatever, right? I hope you didn't ignore it. But anyways, all of a sudden all the apples go bad. Well, that's the same way your mind works. It's not that your mind's an apple, but I sure don't have. I hope you don't have an apple in there. That'd be kind of weird. But anyway, so it's like a negative image is like a bad apple. Once a bad thought starts creeping in here, what's going to happen? It's going to undo this right here. So all that motivation that you got at one point was all of a sudden replaced by fear. At one point you had faith and it turned into fear. Not because you wanted it to, but because a habit of allowing those negative images to go in there, right? So, and where that habit comes from is right here, because you've allowed without even if you don't know. I mean, it's not your fault. Nobody taught you this, right? So, but because of not knowing that you can actually change this by actively using this on a daily basis, you can actually create a habit of positive thinking, of actually creating beliefs. So folks, I hope you got a lot out of this. Share my stuff. If you have any questions, email me. Like my Facebook page. Tell your friends and family, and have fun. And I mean, enjoy this stuff. This, like I said, man, this is not Aladdin's land for anybody who's been wanting to achieve anything. Yeah. Have a good day. Take care. Bye bye.